First and foremost, guys, I want to say salutes to everybody who's been showing up for the live stream. If you don't know about the live streams, guys, you've been missing out, okay? Click the notification bell, turn on every notification on this channel, and make sure you're pulling up. We're literally about to go live right now, so yeah, I mean, go back and just watch it, get caught up. We've been doing a lot of stuff on the urban necessities and 2J's incident going down, which has been extremely wild. Also, moving into July, we're gonna be doing some different stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and announce it, you know, just if you wanna subscribe to it, if you like it, Tonyd2wild, okay? Tonyd2wild, Tony Digital is bringing back another 4K visual fully dedicated to tech, just tech products over on Tonyd2wild. The link will be down below in the description. Now over here, of course, we're gonna be doing lifestyle. Sneakers are still a part of this. Live streaming and in IRL, which you should be seeing some more IRL content coming this upcoming weekend. Cooking, vlogging, pretty much anything over on this channel. So stay tuned, we got a lot going on. All my socials are linked down below, so hop on that ASAP Rocky. All right, guys, so the first shoe that we picked up, this is one I've been seeing from a lot of other content creators out there. One in particular is Seth. That's Seth Eden, or same old Seth over on IG, shout out to him. But also, maybe Seth Fowler has actually shown this. I'm pretty sure he's done several reviews on this one as well. So definitely salute to the brother Seth as well. Seth is one of the people that kind of pushed me to start doing more tech content because he thinks it makes sense. And he knows me pretty well, so that's why he pushed it out there. Salutes to Seth and Tech Fowler as well. The Adidas Adizero Evo SL. So first things first, guys, these things are extremely light. Now these have already been released, and this particular colorway is already released as well. I'll probably link it down below in the description or put it underneath the bar, but this is the colorway they're utilizing. It's like a Volt, but obviously they can't use the word Volt because that's owned by Nike. But what this is, I guess they call it like the Luclem, Luclem. Now the retail on these are $150 and a very nice price point in my humble opinion. This, of course, being a more affordable price point of its Big Daddy shoe, I would say. The Pro Evo 1, which retailed at $500. And that was worn by Tola Tamarat in the Paris Olympics. Tamarat, hopefully I'm saying it correctly. Even though with that said, this is basically, as some people were saying, a direct competition to that of the Nike Pegasus 41. There's been numerous models out there. I definitely would have been wanting to get out and run a little bit more, but I'm not gonna lie, some of the colorways that I've been seeing coming out are also aesthetically pleasing for actually wearing casually out and about. They're extremely light, as I stated before, and they have this Like Strike Pro type of midsole that is extremely cushiony. You know, we're past the Adidas foam runner type of foam days. Adidas is going into more and more different types of midsoles, which I like to see them evolving with. But this is extremely lighter than the Ultra Boost, but at the same time, it feels just in hand is, you know, comfortable. They weigh in at 7.9 ounces, and the Light Strike Pro midsole that you see here is the same that is utilized Adios Pro 3, and it gives you a high energy return of about 74%. I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, that right there, that bounce back. And I got here on some information, the stack height drop is approximately 39 millimeters on the heel, 33 on the mid forefoot, and then 68 millimeters on the drop, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of curious what the drop is portion of here, but obviously you can see this thing stacks up extremely high. Has a lightweight breathable mesh, which you can definitely feel this, the lightweight out the box. When I picked them up, I was like, whoa, these are light as hell. And for the most part, they said they fit pretty true to size. So let's just try them out real quick and we'll give you guys an honest opinion. Whoa, wow. They have a very nice, the outsole, the way it bends, you can literally tell that this is meant for the heel plant and then the take off on the toe, because it does have that banana boat type of this. You can feel this part and you can just tell the difference when walking, how it is set up there. But you definitely feel that Like Strike Pro, right? Is it Like Strike Pro cushioning on the midsole, which is crazy. The only cons, you know, the tongue itself, it will hold into place, of course, just being a very thin overall tongue and a very thin laces, but I think they're trying to sacrifice a lot of that with the weight and it being just mainly for a runner first. You know, aesthetically, can come later. These are pretty dope, but I've seen some pretty dope colorways. This one definitely is a very bright version, don't get me wrong, but I'm not at all, like, honestly, these are pretty cool, man. These are pretty cool. And I didn't even see that, but the Continental on the bottom as well. So these may be more so utilized for running and working out and just trying to get out and about in the street. But with the proper colorways of these and you know, even some dope collaborations, this might be something I might pick up some more of down the road. I need to see though. I seen the bird's eye view when I do the actual on feet. I got some just regular like sweats on. I want to see how they kind of look and match up and how they, you know, if they're banana boating, looking crazy. That part I'll just have to wait and see. But these are out now. They're out and about. Plenty of different colorways, white and black, black and white. This colorway, I think they have some other, they may have a collab as well. So just check them out. They're definitely out and about in the streets already. If this is something you're interested in, and then $150 for what you get, if you're looking into a shoe to have actual performance behind, I'm not mad with that. Aesthetically, not mad with that either. These are nothing hype. These are just some pure just pickups that I wanted to pick up for more so of a actual purpose. Now, moving on to the hype side of things, and probably why you clicked this video, the Jordan 8 Aqua. Now, you might be already ready to comment. This man said he's selling everything, man. And he right back buying. You right. You know why? This is the reason why. This is one of the reasons why I'm selling and I'm not done with sneakers. Because all the stuff that I have in my collection right now is stuff that is already coming back out. A part of selling my sneaker collection, I got rid of the 2015, I want to say, pair of the Jordan 8 Aqua. Bam! But we have the 2025 Jordan 8 Aqua set to release on July 19th, and that is coming in at $215, GS 160, PS 185 for the toddler. So full family size run on this one. Definitely might have to get one for the family, for the wife, and for the baby if I can make that happen. Definitely gonna hurt a little bit on the pockets. I can tell you right off the rip though, material wise, this nubuck upper feels way better than that last pair that I got my hands on. This right here is extremely soft. Now the back portion, the gray portion, very similar to that previous version, but the nubuck utilized on this shoe, I feel like is it's pretty nice, a pretty good upgrade from that previous pair. Now retail, I stated was $215, there may be $210, bro. It's really all over the place when it comes to retail right about now for some of these Jordans. Sometimes it's $200, sometimes it's $215, sometimes it's $210. I'm hearing $215 currently at this point. And if you just put your heads on, I don't even want to say put your heads on $215, because then Jordan Brand could be like, oh, they just accepting $215 like it's anything now. But just be on the lookout for this one in particular, okay? But yeah, I had got rid of my previous pair because this is one that I'm gonna be picking up personally. And if these didn't drop, like if these didn't come out, I would have kept my Aquas. I love my Aquas. I rock my Aquas, my Aqua 8s, my playoff 8s. I love them. I'm just missing the Bugs Bunnies now at this point. That's a shoe that I've never owned, so really waiting to get my hands on those. A little bit of a history about the Aqua 8, if you guys and girls don't know. These were first seen on the court by MJ in the '93 NBA All-Star game. He put up about 30 points, I want to say. However, the Eastern Conference did lose in that battle, but the shoes themselves did not lose whatsoever. Inspired by Tinker Hatfield's Air Raid sneaker, you could see a lot of that, especially on the actual front toe straps. And in my opinion, man, still one of the best basketball shoes. I feel like when you actually rock these and you lace them up as like how they're supposed to be laced with the straps, these things are like you're locked in. You know, I think that these are, when you look at like actual basketball performance sneakers, especially coming out of Jordan Brand, I'm all about, you know, a good ankle lockdown and all that type of mechanism going on. And when you look at the 8s, they're the only ones that kind of have these straps. Just from the standpoint of basketball and being, I said, locked down and locked in, these always seem to be like the best basketball shoe, just on a basketball level. But some people will say the 11s, and there's people out there that play more basketball than me, so I'm not gonna argue with y'all. Obviously, like the Jordan 40s about to drop, those are probably way far beyond these, but I'm talking about from the 1 to the 14s. I would love to hear from even y'all in the comment section that actually ball from the 1 to 14s, like what do you guys find being the best Jordan basketball sneaker? Previously released in 2007 and then in 2015, Of course, this coming in on the 40th year anniversary of the Jordan brand. This is definitely going to be a very, very nice overall shoe. Now, of course, how Jordan brand has been putting out a lot of their stuff of recently, they're trying to match it as close as possible to that of the heritage and of the overall original look. And the overall original look, for the most part, looks pretty spot on, but I will say that one big difference, of course, that you could probably spot and know about is the back portion gray from the 2015 version. Now, when you look at these compared to the 1993 version, they're pretty close on. I do feel like that the gray is a little bit more gray, you know, and I feel like the 2015 was maybe a little bit closer, just from the images I'm seeing so far. I want to do more deep in diving and do a full-on in-depth review. I don't have my 2015 pair anymore, but I do have a video on my YouTube channel, which I will look at that and look at this. I will say when the 2015 pair dropped though, they did take the gray a step further and made it pop out more like the original version and more than that 2007 retro. And I feel like with this 2025 version, they made the gray even more saturated, even more vibrant. So we have to just compare the two and see how far, if they went too far, if they went perfect, you know, when we do the actual review on the sneaker. With that said, are these gonna sell out, I think? You guys been clowning me about grapes and everything. Now, grapes did restock, but for the most part, the grapes moved, bro. Like, they moved from a lot of stores, right? In my humble opinion, from what I saw. The 8s, though, we had playoffs that moved fairly well. Like, there's no playoffs sitting. You know, I didn't see any playoffs going for below retail. This is a pretty big-time shoe. So we have to kind of wait. We do have till July, but I do think that this will be a well sought after sneaker, and this will be a hood classic as well. Hood classics mean the streets are going to eat. So keep that in mind. Like, this is not something just to sleep on and just laugh about. I think these are going to do fairly well in my humble opinion. We'll get out a review as time gets closer and get you guys more in-depth information about that. But me personally, I expect these to do phenomenal. The box comes in the OG box, how Jordans have been all coming. This is a 12.5 black/TR Flint gray Air Jordan 8 retro, so keep that in mind. Me personally, I think they're gonna do good. That's what I'm gonna say there. So with that said, to stay in tune, stay on top of everything. I'll keep you guys and girls on top of everything. And let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section for the Jordan 8 Aqua. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, I'm out. Peace.